or with a new partner. And this anxiety can contribute to a very unsatisfactory sexual experience. Most people overcome this setback eventually with the right partner and time. But with sex being such an intensely experienced event, I've met some folk in my sex therapy clinic who were so traumatised by an early sexual experience that they just about became sexually phobic. What sex phobia? Well, it's bad news for sure. A phobia is defined as a fear that's so intense that even the thought of approaching the fearful circumstances, much less the actual reality of it, creates so much anxiety that the person shuts down and their body can freeze up. Sexual symptoms of this include vaginismus in women, where the vagina seizes up and won't let anything enter, and failure to get erections for men. Well, this extreme negative sexual reaction in sex phobia is such a waste of good potential and is to be avoided at all costs, of course. And indeed, why not eliminate the chances of any sexual anxiety if you can? This tape could be a great aid to avoiding anxiety. You'll be able to get the benefit of my knowledge as a sex therapist and mature woman, and you don't have to read at least 50 sex self-help books and go to university. The work's all been done for you. You won't have to feel anxious about, what should I be doing next? You won't have to worry about, how long should I do it, and am I doing it the right way? And you won't have to feel stupid or naive because you don't know what to do. You won't have to think at all, really, other than following the instructions I give so that you can focus 100% on the sensory experience, which is bound to maximise your pleasure and promote a maximal orgasmic release when the time's right for it. Oh, and always don't think you have to adopt exactly what I teach. Feel free to adapt it to suit your own needs and maximise your own pleasure. You're not locked into doing exactly what I direct. If you want to be a naughty rebel and go against the script, no doubt you'd find that titillating and exciting, and it may give you exactly the kind of turn-on that you are wanting right now. You sure do deserve to have sensational sex right from the beginning, but unfortunately lots of things can and do go wrong unless you've anticipated them right from the start. Let's look at what can go wrong for the beginner. The first obstacle is when you have your facts wrong. You need to avoid what's called the accumulated sexual mythology, or collection of sexual fairy tales. Getting sucked into believing these can really suffocate a good sex life. In fact, some of you may have already tapped into one when I said that you need to anticipate and avoid the pitfalls of beginner sex through planning. You see, there is a myth that you shouldn't plan, that the best sex happens when it's just spontaneous and unpremeditated. What a self-defeating idea. If you wait around for sex to happen spontaneously, you may be waiting a long time. The truth is, most people do miss out on sex because they wait for the right time, right place, right signals from their partner, right hormonal state and right arousal state, instead of planning for it in advance and taking responsibility for creating it. Let's face the most important part about planning. You must plan on safe sex, safe from disease and safe from unwanted pregnancy. And why not plan to maximally enjoy your safe sex? I mean, why settle for inconvenience and discomfort? Would you be happy doing it under a bush on the vacant land next door like some teenagers have? Is that perfect sex for beginners? Not by my standards. And let's look at another common myth. The one about the man's penis. How it should be eternally erect, or ready to be. And it has to be huge, and it should be able to go all night and again all day. Well, the person who started this myth really must have been a wanker in the true sense of the word. What a whopper! The truth is that penises come in all shapes and sizes and in general are much the same finally when they're erect. In fact, the man's heart can very much influence whether he wants to use his erection. He may not feel like having sex unless he cares for the woman. And his penis is actually only one of the many erogenous zones and probably not the best one for stimulating the woman's clitoris anyway. In fact, it seems to be God's little joke that the clitoris is typically positioned